that and its affiliates.
Jalen Rose, pass to Rose, he's going, gone! It's coming up, Roses for the Bulls tonight.
Jalen Rose, this guy is nice, and he is my guest here in studio tonight on The Last Word. What is up? A very good evening to you. Welcome to The Last Word in Los Angeles. I am Jim Rome. Pretty happy about this. Jalen Rose makes a return appearance on the program. He will join me momentarily. First up, though, a take on the big story in baseball right now.
Here's Bibby ready for the inbound. Pops it into Weber. Back to Bibby. He stops. He fires from 20. He got the bucket with 8 seconds to go. And the Kings take the lead. 92-91. They go to Kobe Bryant. Looks at the clock. 4 seconds to go. Starts his move. Spins. Fades. Fires. Doesn't go. Kings rebound. Sacramento has making the advantage. 3 games to 2.
Sacramento's up 3 games to 2 in the Western Conference Finals, and that series is our first topic tonight. I'm joined right now by a guy that I always love to rap with, Bull swingman Jalen Rose. Jay, what is up? Always good to see you.
I'm real good, Ron. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, I'd love to think that you're here to hang with me, but I've got a feeling you're in town to kick it with your guy, C. Webb, to give him a little bit of support. That's pretty much why you're here, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I will be at the game tomorrow. I've been quiet in L.A. because I'm kind of rooting for my friend, and I don't want to get ran out of town.
Hey, Jalen, what do you think? Is the Laker dynasty over?
It can be. Sacramento's the better team. It's shown. Now, whether the Lakers can fight out of this hole, that's something else.
Now, I was about to say, the L.A. Lakers, they're not panicking and they're not tripping about it right now because they believe in their heart of hearts that they are the better basketball team. Do you think they are?
When you face elimination, there's always a panic. When you get down 10, the crowd gets edgy. You know, shots get a little tighter. People start pump faking on opportunities. It's going to get interesting. Hopefully for the L.A. fans, they can get off to a good start because if they don't, they may be in trouble.
No, we just saw that, and there it is again. Mike Bibby coming off that pick, and there was not a moment's hesitation. He wanted that shot. He knocked that shot down. Normally, Jalen, I would suggest that you can't have success in the postseason unless you've been there before. And then again, you got Mike Bibby. I mean, this kid is cold-blooded.
Yeah, he's playing out of his mind. I'm really excited for him because he's been through a lot, especially with the situation with the Grizzlies. Now he comes to a team where they appreciate him. Everybody gets a chance to see him play on the national stage, and he's knocking down shots.
Is it possible that it's no longer C. Webb's team, but maybe it's Mike Bibby's team?
Oh, it's C. Webb's team, but C. Webb allows Mike Bibby to be who he is. Mike Bibby doesn't have to come down and create a shot for Chris Webber every single time. They can play off one another.
And what if C. Webb had said to you back in the day, when that trade went down and he went to Sacramento, if he had lobbed you a telephone call and said, Jay, hey, listen, it's all good. I'm going to sign a max-out deal in Sacramento and we're going to win a ring, what would you have said?
We would have been laughing, just like everybody else was laughing. At that point, Sacramento was like Siberia to the NBA. Nobody was beating down the door to get there. Well, went there, turned the franchise around. They built around them. You got to give the owners credit, the GM credit, and they got a hell of a team.
Now, L.A. came out with that sense of urgency that you were talking about that they're going to need in Game 6. They had it in Game 1. They won Game 1 in Sacramento. Do you think they can win a Game 7 in Sacramento if it goes back there?
I don't think so. But I still think, like I said, they got to find a way to get through Game 6. Game 6 is going to be a tough game for L.A. They've never been in a position to face elimination where they still had to win 2 games to overtake the series. And it's going to be interesting.
And final thought on that shot that Mike Bibby hit. What was Derek Fisher doing? And fair enough that Chris Webber flattened him with that pick, but why was D. Fish on Mike Bibby and not Kobe Bryant?
Well, first off, at the end of the game, you understand you're not going to get a call. Derek Fisher, 2-time world champion, he understands that, but he didn't have any help on the screen in his defense. But at the same time, you don't expect Mike Bibby to come off and shoot it that way. I mean, this kid came off. He didn't have any hesitation. There was still time on the clock. A lot of times you think they may wait for the last shot. So there was a lot of thinking to go both ways.
Yeah, maybe so, but I think they want to leave themselves some time in the event that they had to get to the glass. I know this. If Kobe Bryant is long and he's your best defensive player, what's he doing on Bobby Jackson? And understand this. I like Bobby Jackson. I like the guy's heart. But we know this. He's not going to get that shot. So why is your best defensive player on that guy?
Well, you'd have loved to have Kobe on him in that situation. He did a great job of shutting him down the game before in the second half. He held him to 2 points. He found ways to make it tough for him to get shots and find room. And it would have been a great opportunity to put Kobe on him if you're a Laker fan.
All right, so what about the Eastern Conference? Let me switch over to that for a minute. I don't want to say that the Eastern Conference Finals are the JV, but the Eastern Conference Finals are the JV.
Well, a lot of people consider it that way, but I'll tell you this, once the NBA Finals start, there can be a lot of intrigue that goes with that. I think Boston's playing well. They found ways to make shots to get to the NBA Finals. And right now, I just think Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker may be a little tired going against a team like New Jersey who has 7, 8 guys that consistently put up 10 or more points.
Now, how strange is it? You see what happened in New Jersey. They had a 21-point fourth-quarter lead, and they couldn't finish. Normally, Jay, you see something like that happen, that would rip a team's heart out. You don't come back from something like that, but the funny thing about New Jersey is it seemed to empower them. In fact, Byron Scott said it was the best thing that could have happened to them.
Yes, it was, because that was an all-time thing. It's not like that's something that happens every night. You don't see a team get down 20 in the fourth quarter and find ways to lose the game. And since that happened, they felt that they were a better team. They found a way to lose that game. You got to give Jason Kidd, you got to give Byron Scott a lot of credit, keeping those guys focused. And I feel like they have what it takes to close out that series.
Yeah, well, back to this being the JV. I mean, they might take offense to that, but I guarantee it. Almost anybody in the West, and forget about Los Angeles and Sacramento, and forget about Dallas and San Antonio, I'm talking Minnesota, I'm talking Utah, any of these teams would have beat either one of those teams.
Well, you look at it like this. You got to go by the overall records during the regular season. And true enough, there were maybe 6 or 7 teams in the Western Conference that actually had better records than the team in the Eastern Conference that had the best record. But once you toss up that ball, you get Jason Kidd, you get Paul Pierce, anything can happen.
Shoot, Jalen, you probably think your Chicago Bulls could beat those teams.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. See, that's what I'm talking about. I guarantee there are teams in the East that are sitting home saying, yeah, they might be there, we can't take that away, but we could beat them.
Well, the thing about it is parity. You got to give those guys credit. They went out and did it for 82 games. It's easy to sit back, armchair quarterback. We may can beat them 4 out of 7. We may can beat them in the series. The bottom line, we didn't get it done for the first 82.
Bottom line, coming out of the West, you think it's going to be Sacramento, don't you?
I'm thinking Sacramento. If I had to, put my hat on who's going to win, I'll say them because I feel like they got 2 players at every position, and they're just hungry and thirsty right now.
You believe it or you have your boys back. That's why you're saying it.
Well, I got my boys back, win, lose, or draw. But I feel like Sacramento has what it takes to get it done, and I feel like tomorrow, Game 6, may be that game.
All right, Jay, sit tight. When we come back, we'll do another segment. More with Jalen Rose when the last quarter returns right after this. Did he pay Wolverine players money? Was he giving guys money? Was he doing things he should not have been doing with the program?
Like I said, Ron, trust me. Ed Martin was not a University of Michigan booster. Ed Martin was somebody that helped me before have a winter coat on my back.
That's some of what Jalen Rose had to say the last time he appeared on the program about allegations that Michigan booster Ed Martin had given upwards of $600,000 to former Michigan players. Since then, Martin has pleaded guilty to a federal conspiracy charge. Jay, you feel the same way? Did you ever see him give anybody any money?
Well, the thing about Ed Martin, as I told you, I've seen him help kids before. So I'm not going to say that I haven't seen him do anything for kids, but in excess of $600,000 by no means. You figure you could be a multi-millionaire and you could probably count on one finger the number of people you want to give $600,000 to. That's a lot of money.
I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Helping a kid is one thing. Giving Chris Webber 280 GER is something else. Any evidence of that? Did you ever see that?
Well, that's allegedly. I mean, nobody really knows if that's an exact number, if that's a number that came from the police side of things, if that came from Ed Martin's records. The bottom line is we don't know this. Like I said, we know Ed Martin. I'm not going to act like we're a stranger to him or his situation. But I look at it as he was just doing what he could to help kids in the community with what he had.
Well, we should be straight. He did plead guilty. So he certainly was guilty of something. He pled guilty. He ever give you any money?
Yeah, he gave me money before. And it wasn't in excess of, trying to allow me to be rich. It was allowing me to have a couple of dollars in my pocket. And I was a young kid, and I was needing that. So when you're a young kid and you're at the ice cream truck, you pray for a big brother or somebody down on the street to come and pay for ice creams for all of the kids at the truck.
Hey, Jay, was he hooking you up with bomb pops and ice cream sandwiches? Or are we talking about tens of thousands of dollars and more?
No, not tens of thousands of dollars and more. If that was the case, I wouldn't have been driving a Dodge Omni at the University of Michigan my freshman year. I'd have been riding in a Mercedes-Benz paying the car note.
So what are we talking about? How much money did he give you?
Well, like I said, probably pocket money. More than anything. Like I said, just something to make me feel like I can go to a movie, go to a show, I can get a pair of gym shoes, I can get, a fresh outfit.
Let me ask you this. If he's giving out money, does it tarnish the Fab Five legacy? If guys on the team are getting that money and they're getting it illegally, does it tarnish what you accomplished?
Not at all. The things that he done for me was before I became a University of Michigan athlete. Like I said, he was somebody I knew before I got to Michigan. Our relationship wasn't, you know, that way once I got to college. I was more established, you know, and I was on my feet a lot better being a college student.
All right, so you're in Chicago now. They've got the second pick overall in the draft. Has Jerry Krause come to you and said, what do you think we should do with that pick?
Yes, and I appreciate that. I think that, you know, they're going to do what they can to get me involved because they want to build a team around me, and they want to talk about things and options that we can do to improve the team. And obviously, sitting at number 2, if Yao Ming's predicted to be number 1, you know, you're looking at a guy like Jay Williams from Duke.
All right, so would you say to them, take Jay Williams, we got another young guy, let's build around him, or having been here, Jalen, and